Hi, I'm Tiko, and today I'm presenting Fracture Sound's blueprint Woodwind Ensemble. This is a collection of piccolo, flute, oboe, cor-anglais, clarinet, and bassoon, recorded individually at Nave Studios and combined together in the single patch designed for quick sketching. This is available in the free Kontakt Player 8, and all you need to do is go to their website and create an account to get started. Let's begin by going through the controls. First up, we have the dynamics, which controls the dynamic layers of the sustain and performance patches using the mod wheel or any controller tied to MIDI CC1. Then we have the color, which is an overall EQ controlling the brightness of the sound. Next up, we have stereo width, which is a nice tool if you want a wider sound, or if you go all the way to the opposite end of the spectrum, you get mono, which can be useful if you want to place the instrument in a very specific place in a stereo spectrum. And then, of course, we have reverb. Let's crank it all the way up to hear the character. And we have 4 different types of reverb. We have the room verb, and we have hall, and the shimmer, which is my personal favorite. And then we have the convolution reverb. We have a bunch of different impulse response samples, all the way from a more subtle sound to big halls. Moving on to the microphones, we have 3 different mic positions. We have a close mic, and a mid mic, which is like a deca tree or a conductor's perspective type of sound, and then the far mic. And at the bottom we have the perspective slider, which is a super handy way of controlling the blend of the 3 microphones. And if we click on the cogwheels, we get 2 more settings. First up is the sample start, which controls the latency of the samples. I like to keep this at 0 milliseconds. And then we have dynamic response, which controls how much the velocity of your input affects the volume of the instrument. If I take this all the way to the left, my dynamics have little effect on the volume of the instrument. And if I take it all the way to the right, there's a massive difference between playing soft and playing hard. We have 3 articulations. First is the staccato, where the velocity controls the dynamic layers. Then we have the sustains, and again, the dynamic layers are tied to the mod wheel or any controller that's mapped to CC1. And the third one is the performance patch, where we have both shorts and sustains, and they're controlled by the velocity. And again, the dynamics are tied to a mod wheel or MIDI CC1. Lower velocities will give you the shorts, and higher velocities will give you the longs. This, combined with the control you have over dynamics, makes it easy to perform musical lines. I did a short piece showcasing this instrument with the support of some other blueprint libraries. Let's listen to it and then break down what I did. Throughout the piece, I'm using two articulations of the Woodwind Ensemble. The first one is the staccato, which is mainly for rhythms. And in this one, I've changed the reverb to whole and increased it a bit. And on most of the melodies, I'm using the performance patch to get those sustains at the ends of phrases. And same thing on here, just a bit more reverb, and it's set to whole. In the second part, I start building up the arrangement. I'm using the staccato woodwinds for the rhythms. And again, the performance patch for the melody. For the supportive instruments, I'm using the short strings, the festive bells, and the string trio. Let's listen to just the supporting instruments. The toy bells are adding just little accents that are sparkling on top. And again, a bit more reverb and whole on this one as well. From the string trio, I'm using the pizzicato. That's on the first round, it's doubling the melody. And then on the second round, it does a variation of the melody. And here, everything's set at default. And then the short strings are just beefing up the underlying rhythm a bit. And here I've increased the stereo width, and again, a touch more whole reverb. Then we go back into the main theme, which is just the woodwinds with a little sparkle from the toy bell. And the last part of the piece is the biggest arrangement-wise and builds on the harmony a bit further than before. Let's hear it out. And here I'm only using the staccatos of the woodwinds because there are no sustained notes in this part. Let's solo it and hear it out. And then let's hear just the supporting elements without the woodwinds. So for the first supportive elements, I'm using the gentle strings. And these are doing the harmony beneath the melody. Let's hear it out, soloed. And to really push some extra energy into this part, I'm using the short strings for arpeggios. Let's hear that out. And the last supportive element is again the toy bells. This provides a nice top-end sparkle by outlining the melody. And then the very climax at the end. And here I'm combining the staccatos and the performance patch again. Let's check them out one by one. then the staccatos. And the short strings double the rhythms. And then the icing on the cake, the toy bells coming one last time for the last hits. Just a little pling. On the production side of things, these libraries fit together so well that I actually haven't done any mixing aside from what I have on my master bus. On the master bus, I have Galfos still rocking the Nolly settings, which are pretty slight. And then from my analog chain, I have just a touch of compression, some smiley face EQ, and a bit of saturation. And that's all there is to it. In my opinion, the way these instruments fit together so cohesively without having to scub the sound is nothing short of magical. Thank you for watching this demo of Blueprint's Woodwind Ensemble. If you'd like to try the library out yourself, you can grab your free copy now from the Fracture Sounds website. If you enjoyed this walkthrough, don't forget to leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more content from Fracture Sounds.